Welcome to my channel. Yes, hello. I am David from Fertile Pixel, and I'm doing some game dev instead of getting an early night or staying up, getting the house ready for a party on the weekend. So, or the other alternative, staying up getting urgent stuff done for my day job, because it's not work hours right now, and day job urgent stuff is only urgent during work hours. Unless someone specifically has asked to pay me more money to fix it out of hours. Which I guess just means that work hours is bigger, so it doesn't actually change that equation. Anyway, enough nonsense. I've been working on the CommandBots game, and I've been working towards getting a UI working for that. I wonder if I should. Yes, let me do a bit of stuff here. This is just mess around with OBS a little bit, because why not? And I'll put a window capture and do that. And that's going to be visible. And oh, good. It actually picked that up automatically just based on what I wanted to name it. I have no idea what that means. Sure. Does the cursor work on that? The cursor does work on that. Very small. Okay. Sweet. Alrighty. So that's working for that. And why don't I just put that all the way over here? Move that up here or something. Yep, that'll do. Then what happens if I change the size of this? That happens. Cool. Don't mind me, I'm just messing around with this thing. Okay, sweet. All right, and need to put. Oh, it doesn't get the tool windows or anything. That's interesting too. Anyway, where's my thing here? I'll chuck that about there. Yeah, that'll do. I could just hide that one. Did that work? No. That one. There we go. I think I should just make a new scene for this. Anyway, let me move down here. I could talk about this wonderful thing just here. Yeah, so basically it's the routine graph that we're going for. So a robot, when it spawns from the factory, will be pre-programmed, and you won't be able to affect its actions anymore. It'll just pick up whatever program you have in the factory, and this is what you set up in the factory. So I was just pointing at my at a preview of the video feed instead of pointing with the cursor here. So yeah, the routine will start. It'll be able to do actions in a line as the old one already did, and then they can go past labels, which we'll be able to go back to later. Then if there's an enemy, there's a decision node, which is usually going to be connected to some kind of sensor, like the enemy sensor. So it'll go up if there is one, and down if there isn't one. and then just go through whatever things are there. If it hits a go to label, then it'll jump back to the label. So this is just going to loop around through this routine. If there's an enemy there, it'll have a different action depending if the proximity sensor is sensing something collidable or immediately in front. So if there is something immediately in front, it's going to assume that's the enemy and put up the shield so that it doesn't get run into or lasered. If the enemy's not right in front of it, then it's going to fire its laser twice, and then it's going to loop around again and do the same check ultimately. If it destroys the enemy and the enemy isn't there anymore, then it might go enemy false, so then it'll move forward and shield. So that's what this is representing, but that is not something that can be represented completely right now. So let me just get that visible again and get that invisible and move this back where it was roughly, this being myself, and let's jump over to it. So let's see. Oh yes, that's right, I made this cup of tea. That's why I wasn't here when the stream said any moment now. And then a moment or two passed. I'll leave that water down there so that it can't hurt anyone. All right. So without further ado, I will minimize this and have a look where we were up to last time. So there's a little bit of stuff here. I'll just get a magnifier going. Wait, maybe I won't get a magnifier going. Maybe I will just, maybe I'll just do that here. Do need to fix up these scenes a bit. But essentially what I want is, oh right, that's right. The magnifier follows the screen. That's why that won't work, unless there's a way in OBS. Let me check. OBS. Follow cursor. Zoom and track your mouse cursor in OBS. Does anybody know how to do that? And let me just move that over there in case it wants to do silly stuff. And what is that? Ah, yes, that is Super Press Space to Win Adventure RPG 2009. Might as well load that up while I'm doing that. Ah, there we go, yes. I thought Reddit would do its wonderful thing of show everybody on stream all my Reddit accounts, all my darkest secrets. Okay, I found a thing that would work, but you got to install Python for it to work, which is kind of annoying. And I probably have Python installed already, but that was a sneeze sound. But I can't be bothered checking right now. So whatever, I'll just use the magnifier, even though it is annoying for performance. Does that still work? There we go. I linked this in the last stream. It is, you press the spacebar to start. This is you. Your job is to reduce the Risyuk, the princess who was kidnapped. Do you accept this mission? Press space to say yes. I will. Good. Now to go over the basic controls. Press space to move. Excellent. Looks like you hit a roadblock. Press space to jump. Ho-ho! An enemy. Time to learn the basics of combat. Press spacebar to attack. Excellent. Oh, I've been attacked. Ouch! Damage taken. Press space to show your health. Okay, not too bad. Looks like you're okay for now. Press space to block enemy attacks. Now's your chance. Go for the kill. Haha. Enemy defeated. Got 5 gold and 10 EXP. Anyway, that's enough of that. Definitely worth a play. At least once. But right now I've got stuff to do. Speaking of play, I'm going to hit play on here and let's see what happens. So there's a bit of stuff that is just sitting there in the scene that I set up. Not needed, just playing around to get things working. And I believe I was in the middle of writing code that makes the stuff in here behave properly, especially being able to plug things together. So I was trying to get the output connector to stay on the drop target and retract when dropped anywhere else. So I think I might be nearly there. This is going to take a while because my system has gone to sleep while Unity has been open, and I haven't done a compile since. So let's see, here's an output connector, bit of code. So that is this thing here. Good, okay. Now, I think this one is getting double connections because of reasons. Don't mind those robots in the background. They're just, you can faintly see them through there. They're just doing their thing, which is mostly running into walls. Anyway, so these are some things that are just being created in the start function of Routine Graph Manager, where I was just figuring out how to control these things programmatically. And it's basically creating, based on a vector of 3 positions, it's creating these 3 things and then creating that connection and this connection here and setting the colors either end of that connection. But these only just got those at the end of last stream, I think, connecting automatically to there. So that must be on the output connector code, right? On start, we're basically, what are we doing? We've got the canvas, setting assets canvas. That is a drag and droppable thing. So is this stuff and this thing connect to your parent. So we get the rect transform the parent because the node graph library uses rect transforms. We get the rect transform of the of itself, the connector. So we're basically getting this rect transform and this rect transform, and then we're creating the connection between the two. We look up that connection, excuse me, using find connection, and then this is basically setting to the first point of that connection. That's going to be where it starts from, the parent. So it's basically moving that to there, setting the weight to 0.3 because I find that gives it this shape instead of the SE shape there. Let's see, so direction east, so that's putting it on the right hand side, and 0.84, so it's just moving it up to just there. And then on the other end, we're just giving it a weight of 0.3, leaving it in the middle and making sure it's connected to the west side, so the left of that thing. So yeah, that bit there is connecting to parent, so I might just move that out into its own method. There we go. And I think this to-do can go away. To-do, connect to your parent. Well, it's calling connect to parent, so that's got to be good enough to satisfy you, right? I'm the person who wrote that. Okay. These are just notes that I wrote when I was making that. This will need to... This especially will need to change. No, thank you. I believe the best viewers are the ones who already view my channel, so I don't need to go searching for any more. one day I'll start blocking and reporting bots or other such things as that. Probably just set up something to automatically block anyone who uses a URL, because usually most of the time people don't. Or at least give people a timeout or something. Anyway. Or maybe auto-moderate. Is this like best viewers, but somehow this underline has been added so that it doesn't show up on a filter that's looking for messages like these? Oh well, I believe my total viewer count is 1, so that'll be stream elements. Something like that. What does that even count? Don't know. So yeah. Anyway, what was I doing here? So these should be able to plug into there, and it's where the mouse is. Also, there's this offset thing that's really annoying, so I think I'll stop that from happening. And yeah, you plug them on. Oh, missed apparently. Plug it onto there. Unplug it. Good. Now I think at this point I might stop making these connections here. But I'll keep some of that stuff. There. Oops. I'm using VS Code too much in day job. I was working on some interesting code in my day job, so I could have happily just continued that all afternoon into the evening. If I, was just a hermit, knew no other humans, didn't have stuff to do in the yard and make everything hurt. I'm sure I've got several splinters, but not enough. So I have to go out tomorrow morning, or maybe in the middle of the day, hammer some more stakes into the ground. See if I can increase my collection. I do have leather gloves that I could use. Anyway, so yeah, that should now not be making those connections, but it will still be creating the nodes. I think. That's this bit here. So that's my node prefab. So I'm going to need different node prefabs for the different types of things, different types of nodes. And then it's just basically adding that to the lists, which I think I end up not really using. But that's fine. I'll keep that for now. All right. And I think this output connector, what I was saying here, position, that is a floating point. So I'll just just grab that in a serialized. So basically, this will be on the prefab because each different node prefab will have its connectors already, or its output connector components already present, and so they can just have the connection point. Oops, I forgot to give it a type, and the default can be 0.84, and that way then I don't have to worry about setting up the current one. And that could be that. There we go. So now I can configure them properly when I get around to actually using them. Is that something, can I moderate that on here? Oh, cool. There you go. Goodbye. That was easy. Right. I should write myself a little list of things to do because... Oh, wait, I do have a little list of things to do. It's in here, but I kind of put it here for some reason instead of over on my to-do list. Create a connection point where each output connection should be. Connect from graph node to connection point. Yeah, I've done that. That's that thing that happens on the connection point. Output connector. Thing. That. Create a connection. Allow drag and drop of connection point. Yes, looks like that's working. Snap it back to position on drop when not on target. Oh yeah. Aside fixed drag positioning. Got it sort of fixed, but always the wrong position because cursor slides. So yeah, I'm going to just fix that now. So that's going to be in the output connector on begin drag. No, not on begin drag. So basically I'm getting my original position and I'm getting the offset of the grab position from the center. So basically if I grab it on like this corner here, then what's supposed to happen, and I'll just move this around a bit until it starts dragging, it's supposed to be on that corner. But as you can see, the cursor's not on that corner. If I go to the center of it and click and drag, it just, for some reason, it just goes across several pixels before the drag, before it counts as a drag. I wonder if there's something that you can configure. But basically just lags behind, and actually before I was just going to remove that completely. But why don't I have a quick look? Just doesn't start dragging immediately. Wow, lots of people having trouble with drag and drop. I'm not too surprised. It's not like the simplest thing. It's not that complicated, but certainly there are much simpler things. Not working well. I wish these, I wish discussion posts and questions had more precise titles. Okay. Interesting. Transform dot position equals event data dot position. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was about to do. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough looking at that. I'm going to stop this running. So basically, I get that offset, and that's the problem there is that by the time drag starts, it's actually, it might be that I actually have a more accurate position available. And that's in the event data. So maybe this event data has position. press position and world position. So position, what's that? What's press position? All right, so what's this? Pointer event data. Just look that up. All right. So, what is? We don't have press position. We have position. Where's that? We do have press position. Did I just misspell that? The screen space coordinates of the last pointer click. I got position, current pointer position. Yeah, so I think maybe press position is what I want. So let's try without that, and instead this. Oops. Yeah, so that'll become our original position. So we're measuring from where the pointer started, not where the cursor is now. And then so plugged in, so equals false. Now we get drag pos from pointer. Wait, what? Oh, is this? No, that's on drag. What is this defined? Okay, so we're getting event data.position. That's like the current position. Yeah, that's not actually what I want. That's not actually what I want. Because this is where the button was pressed. Wait, no, is it what I want? Original pos is where the button was pressed. This is using event data. So it's going to get the position of the event data compared to the position of the object. Okay, so I think I just need another thing like this, but not quite the same. And instead of using that position, it's going to use that other one, the press position. I still don't know if that's the right thing to use because I'm not sure what it's relative to. Oh, screen coordinates. Screen to world point. Yeah, that should be fine actually. So I do know what it's relative to. So basically grabbing this world point. I mean, no, we're just grabbing the Z. Right. Creating a position where the press happened. Oh yeah, because that's what we're then comparing. Well, we're not yet, but we will be. Comparing to the original position. Okay, what else do we use this original pose for? Looks like it's used twice, here and here. All right, so what we want. This is getting the current point of position in world coordinates with the Z index adjusted. Then we're doing an offset from the center, which is going to be the position that the thing being dragged started at before it started being dragged, compared with, I think I can rename this one. Yeah, I think just that get position. I think world position. Yeah, my lips are not in great shape. I might have got a little bit headbutted in the face a little while ago. Because some people haven't yet learned how to be careful where they fling their head. So that's fun. I've got skipped frames. Why is that happening? 1.3%. I'd say that's probably system lag based. Because I can't see a VPN being open. Okay, let me make that small. I should just run this and see if it works. So if I've got that right, that might fix that thing. And it's only a minor little thing, so it's not the main thing I want to do. As I said the last couple of times, I would love to get this working and be implementing the data model for the routine, the branching and looping routine. Because right now it's literally just an array of actions. So I'm going to make sure not to dally too much on it. Okay, so now we've got these things not connected. These are the three being created programmatically. There's one that is having an extra thing created, even though it doesn't have any reason to. All right, let me try grabbing this at that corner there. See, now it's actually stuck to the right place. So that does make it so I can plug that in if I do that. See that? It's lining up in a particular way, which I purposely made it do. The problem is if I get that to there and then release, now it's not going to go on there because it's based on the array trace from the cursor when you release. So just there, it's not going to be hitting that. Which is kind of annoying. Might be a reason to just center that. And it might be a reason to basically give this like a zone around here. So if you're anywhere near it, it'll just do that. And I can make these maybe like light up or something when they are going to connect to something. All right. Yeah, so I should be able to plug these together. So if I was making a routine, I could do stuff like this. Move those there. Unplug that. Should just go back to where it's supposed to be. Move that around. Should move with that. So there we go. So we'll just, of course, plug that onto there because why not? And there's probably no way to make that look nice, but that's, even if someone wants to connect their things up like that, then go for it. Now, none of these are the images that are supposed to be there, but also, like at this stage, none of the art is final. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see this little list down here. So yeah, that aside, I think that has been fixed. Okay, add a drop point for input that detects the connection point drop. Okay, done. In input drop target. And change connection to go to target node on drop. I used to be doing that, but then I changed it. Yes, so make it work the other way around. Wait, no, not that. This. So initially when you plug these in, I had the connection actually going from here to this thing. And then I realized, and this was just getting not enabled, but then I realized actually having that plug there and just plugging it in, that is a bit of an affordance that helps understand like what's going on. And, you know, the graphics for this and this could easily be set up so that it's obvious what goes where. Not to mention, like when you start dragging this, I could have all of the possible places it could connect to, light up in some way or something to show where it could go. So that's nice, but it's not actually doing anything. There we go. Yes, I decided not to do that. Well, look, I've done all of this stuff, so I might just I'll leave that there for now. But I need to move on to whatever's next. So yeah, I've got that working. Now I need some actual real things to draw. So I think I've done that. And I might start a little bit of that. Do this one. So I'm going to do a graph with a single root node, which will be a start label, and everything else connects to that. And I guess that start label also, so basically if we look back at here, this start, it's basically the same thing as this number one here. So this is like go to number one, something that the routine can just loop back to. The start is a special one, basically because I think if you like haven't made that connection from here to anything, then that would just by default go back to start. So any connector that's not plugged into anything, that means restart at the beginning of the routine. And that I think would just make it a little bit more user-friendly. Your routine, you wouldn't end up with your robot just sitting there malfunctioning because it is has reached a point in its routine that's not plugged into anything. So, yeah, I could make it more brutal, or just make that a setting. So if people don't want it to go back to the start, if they'd rather it just get stuck, then have that. But anyway, so I think if I start with a start node, that might be nice. And that will just have one output connector, and it won't have an input connector because there's no need for an input connector on that. So I'm going to do these two things in parallel. So wait, what have I got down here? Data model, sensors and branching. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this. And polish. So I'll just make that a to-do and implement UI for node types. We'll start with the start node. And I think just like a simple action node. Decision node. If I look at the data model, initial routine start. What do I mean by that? Go to start. That's slightly confusing. All right. So node has outputs, go to type. So we got action, simple decision, threshold decision, and go to and a label. So yeah, start is basically a label, but it's a special case. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but hey, I'll just make it and see what happens. What do we got? So actually all action nodes are simple because it's just do that action. It's possible I could later add others, so I'll do simple decision node. I'll do the threshold decision later. Okay. So I'll stop that for now. So what do I need for a start node? I'm going to need a few things. I'll need a prefab. Needs to have one output connector. I started saying kind of connection. That's a connector. So it's like connector. And needs no input connection. Interestingly, labels, they kind of just live on a connection, but in practice they get plugged into Unless they're literally something you just drag onto a connection. That'd get a bit hairy trying to figure out exactly where to draw it based on where the line is drawn. Yep. All right. I think I'll go with the triangles here. Because I think that'll kind of make sense. Let me jump into sprites here. What have we got here? Was I going to make something and I didn't? No, time to make something. A triangle. You know, there might be some kind of a tool that I could use here to draw like a line. Yeah. Let's go like that. Just leaving a bit of space there. Oh, no, that's going to look super janky unless I can get a nice step shape. So 45 degrees is nice. All of that is pretty horrible. This is what happens when you're doing pixel art and you want to make a line. There, that's my option for something that doesn't look super jank. Right there, I think. I think that is the place, and I kind of just missed it on the one above. Yeah, look at that. That's nasty. Okay, let's try that again. From like there was. Where's our nice set of steps? I think that's it. Shave that one off there. That up there. And I'll do one here. That's 2 pixels there, so that. Wait, what? That's lining up. That's lining up. Oh, something's wrong there. Should be going 2, 2, 2, and that's 3. So that's what broke it. We would use these line tools. Too fancy. Not enough finesse. Yeah, that's a triangle, all right. Quickest triangle ever drawn. Paint bucket. Let's just do that. And that's pretty good. I could slap a number or a letter on that, and that'll be ready to go. I just move that across somewhat. So it's a bit centered. I could even make it bigger, couldn't I? Use the whole thing. I could. Does it matter? I don't even have to make it a triangle, do I? Like I could have it be cut off there and have it be like a trapezium shape. Because then it won't take up as much width. That looks symmetrical. Can we get like another color? Like the do a shadow sort of outline or just a not shadow outline. Do a bit of both. If I got a darker color for here. That's looking a bit weird. It doesn't look weird on there. That'll do. I'm going to call that done. Let's just make a new frame. Give this one not that. So that one has that. This one doesn't. Yeah. Action node. This can be probably like the rectangle shape like that. I'm just going to grab that whole thing. Yep. Go over here, let's paste that here. And now I'm going to, I don't think I'll keep the whole thing. Yeah. So I think I'll grab that and probably remove this stuff. And do that. And I think that'll do. That's like just a blank one, and I can just put anything on that. So that'll be good for the prefab. It's also the same size as everything I've already got, so I can use those as well. I'm just thinking, just to get it a bit more symmetrical in here. There. And is that asymmetrical here? This top part I'm reading as 31 pixels, 48 by 31, and what do I get here? .48 by 43. Well, I think that just means it's not centered. That looks too high now. That looks centered. Wait, 48 by 31 is something else. 34 by 1 is the selection. Okay, selection 34 by 11. And selection 34 by 11. There we go. Okay. So that's good. I'll save that. Simple decision node. So that's going to be basically a circle. And then the threshold decision, that's going to be, I'll make a sprite for that later. Threshold decision will have a place for something. Yep, new frame. New frame, who this? Okay. All right. What do I want here? Some lines, some shapes. I'm going to do a circle. And already got yellow, got blue. Let's make this green just to differentiate it. Okay, I'm going to start right up here. Is that a good size? It's wider than the actions. The actions are this wide. And that probably will do. Let's grab outline color. That's not the right tool. In fact, let me just move this here. There we go. Now grab that outline color and just start one pixel out. See what we get. No, it doesn't quite join up. That's fine. Now, just go up here and grab a different color. Like that one. Just do the same outline again. Now I should just be able to remove some of that. I'll do that like that. Actually, let me have a look at this. Slide it towards the right. So do that. There we go. And yeah, just fix those little holes there. There. Okay, there's our decision node. So it's going to have one input and two outputs. I guess they'll just now if its rect transform is going to be going like to there, then I probably want something there for it to plug into. Look for that plug to connect onto, and I might just go with black actually, because that's sort of what the, oh, no, the lines that are connecting to it are going to be black. Well, yeah, I can make them whatever color I want, but I think they'll change color depending on what's going on. But just a limitation of that library, I can move things up and down along this edge, but I can't move them like into here unless I make that the edge and put them like there and there. But I forget if I can do that. I think there was maybe an issue with how I was doing that. Doesn't matter. For now, I'll just proceed with this. And let's see, label node. That's pretty much just, I was just going to use the same sprite as this, but I might actually go ahead and use a different one. just because the colors would be wrong. Oh wait, no, that's fine. Yeah, I can. Oh, that wasn't the brush. It's taking the corners off because the other one didn't have corners. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I could just rotate it, but yeah, the shadow would still be wrong actually. So why don't I just make a new frame here? Paste that in, and then will this flip this way? There's probably a better way to do that than just manually flip it and then manually get that right to there. Is that right? It seems right, so that's good enough for this. This being getting something working. Oh, I didn't even need to do that. I was going to fill them. I thought I got to block the end of that line, but it doesn't matter about blocking the end of the line because it's not actually connected there. Okay, there we go. So now I've got our go-to. So it's like the label, but the other way around. So I've got the wide end on this side, so I can plug lots of things into it. And, oh yeah, I need the actual connectors too, don't I? So, what am I doing? New frame. Okay, so we've got that one. Yep. Basically the same one. Oops, I deleted that new frame I made. Instead of just deleting the contents of that. Okay, so what color have I not used? I don't have to have everything different colors, but I can. I might go sort of a darker color or a grey. Maybe a bit of both. So for this, it's really just like, that's the wrong tool. This one, it's just going to be a little plug that can plug in. Does that look like a little plug that can plug in? It sort of does. I feel like a lot more can be done to enhance the plugginess of it. Opacity 100%. Pixel perfect. I could swear that that is not deleted. Like, oh, because this is the blur tool, not the eraser tool. Good. Alrighty. Now, I can change the background color of the routine editor if I want. But anyway, let's just see on a brush tool I have. Let's get like an outline going on this. That doesn't really make it look very round. Difficult to see that on this background. There, that's just like a less dark thing on that side. I will give that an extra bit of length there for pronginess. And kind of weird that this is all joining together here, but the underside of things should be the color. But I'd actually rather have that be lighter. And something along here to give it some kind of shape. Let's see. It looks a bit shaped now. That's nice. I still feel like something down is needed down here, something a bit different. Oh, I wonder if putting a light bit on the end of those would be good. Oh, that looks cool. That looks too shiny. That would be slightly too light, but I'm not sure. I'm probably getting a bit too carried away here, but I might just grab this with lower opacity and just give it a bit of a run down there a couple of times maybe. See if that, yeah, I think that adds something. I'm gonna do one or two more. I'm going to undo that one and just do it from there to there. I'm happy with that. And I might actually draw its related sprite on the same thing. So let's pop that over, say here. Yeah, I'll just make something for it to plug into. So I think I'll make more of like a rectangle. It might be a bit bigger. As big as the whole thing. I might make it sort of a lighter color. And yeah, let's do that. Oh, that is the lighter color. Okay, let's try that. Even that light. See, this color like here is like that. Is the background thingy is kind of nice. What's that? That's just complete transparency that's selecting. That color, that gray looks about like that maybe. Oh, that is completely opaque, is it? No, it's not. Good, that is colored. It's not just pretending to be. Let's knock those corners off that. And I'll probably change the size of this. I'm just going to move it though because that is looking weird on that background. All right, so a couple of things here. Use a lighter color for these here. does give it a bit of shape. I want to give it a bit more shape too. So I think I'm going to do... I'll actually use that for this shadow here. Because it's a bit too dark. And again, I'll just grab the same thing with lower opacity. Draw it over there. It's ended up being similar to that, which makes it look like this is a thing with a shadow. Drop that opacity right down. Grab this color with really low opacity as well. And get that going in there. And then I think I'll just grab that color and just put that in the corners maybe. Spending too long on the outline. So let's see. Is that the same as that? It is. Okay, enough drawing and then deleting corners. I think this needs some lines. They need to be 3 pixels apart. I mean, they need 2 pixels in between them. Which puts them about like that. But I've also put them off center. Don't mind me, one day I'll select the right thing. There, that's, yes, that's centered. And if I move this over here, you can see the hole in that I left. Would a bit longer make sense? Probably not. I feel like I should add something like maybe like this around here. But a little bit darker. Let's grab some of that to there. Oh, that looks really nice. Shows up very well. I don't know if this will help it or hinder it. I don't want it to do too much. I think this shadowy bit up here is what really carries it. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, I think I've got a few things to do here. I think I need to narrow that down a little bit. Yeah, I think bringing it in by 2 is good. That'll do. I will now put this right there. Maybe I'll put it right here. That one can go right there. Okay, I got some things to plug in. Kind of doesn't make sense because one of them is facing sideways and the other one's facing forwards, but it doesn't matter. It's all temporary. Saving, okay. I think we can now put a sprite sheet with cancel. I think I did the wrong key shortcut. No, not even clicking on the right app. The right program, the right application. Gah. The word app for computer programs. I guess it's fine. It's just oh, it's E, Control E to export the spreadsheet. Of course. There we go. So we got label. It's a bit big now, looking compared to these other things. That label's way too big. Oh, doesn't matter. I'll replace it eventually. I can always just scale it half the size. Although that'll make the pixels too small. Sprites.png. I think that should still be set up for the right place. So now I'm going to go edit those sprites. Art. Sprites. Oh, there we go. It's catching up. Let's go to the sprite editor, and now we got to slice some more sprites. And I'm just going to manually do these. And I'll call this node star label. Node action. Node decision. Nope, don't want. Oh, let's just put that one there. Node go to. Oops. I didn't do that with the other things, did I? What's the green bit and what's the blue bit? Position and border. Border left 11. So 4. Border. Sprite border. Unity sprite border. What is it with Unity? Sprite border. What? That doesn't help me. Tell me about sprites. 2D graphic objects. What's the deal with borders? Yeah, there's the question. What are sprite borders used for? Yeah, I checked and it didn't say. Sprite borders are used for 9-slice scaling. Anything in the border area won't be rescaled. It's most relevant for UI and other resolution-dependent elements. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's basically for when you're 9-slicing. So, so that you don't end up with, stuff here scaling. But yeah, okay, not relevant to what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, wait, what? Did I name this one? I didn't even name it. Yeah, okay, so this is connector. I'll call it male and connector female. Using the convention of naming connections based on whether they have sticky out bits or sticky in bits. Sure. Excellent, good. If I were to put the pivot of this there, I think that would make it so that that goes just, the bit where the pivot is goes just there. And that would probably be good. If I'm being a smarty pants, I could even make it so that the end bits of that are like a separate sprite and end up behind that one or something like that. Or just swap out the sprites. But I'm not going to do that right now. Not necessary to get this working. Okay, so I've got some things that are prefixed with node and prefixed with connector. So that's going to be useful. That stuff should all be applied now. All right, I think I'm ready to make some things. And I have a little bit of time in order to do that as well. Start node. Really want to change these node label. Oh well. Let me just say grab a graph node as an example. So I'll just get my routine editor UI. No, that's the routine graph is what I'm building here. So my graph node, that's the one that I'll just put here. So it's one of those. All right, so that's got that thing. So I'll use that as my starting point. Now, what I don't need here is an input target because it can't have inputs. And I'll name this one start node. And it will have one output connector that will be positioned at 0 on Y. Oops. There we go. So my start node should have node label. Okay, yeah. All right, and was there a set native size button? Image type sliced. No, it's a simple one. And there we go. It seems to. There we go. That gets the native size, which is smaller than this, which is actually quite good because we don't want things to be enormous. And the output connector actually needs to have a connector male. And probably position it a lot closer on the axis. Let's say here. Now, it's actually quite small. How big can they be if we're doing something? If I make it this size, and then I press set native size, okay, then it goes down to that size. If I go here and click that, I end up with a very small thing. That's probably too small. So I might want to sort of double the size. 53.125.125 becomes 25.25. 53 becomes 6, 50 becomes 100. Okay, 0.25 becomes 0.5. There. That's too big now. I'm just going to eyeball it to that size for now. And we'll just get that to about there. Okay, and I'll make that connector a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think that'll do. It's not looking amazing in that preview, but that's okay for now. What if I just set the native size and scale it? All right, so we got a draggable icon script. Yeah, I need to add a text on here. I'll just say start. And it'll say it's centered in black text that is auto-sized so that it will fit in there. And vertically centered. And can we have any padding for the auto size? No, so I'll just add padding by moving that. By about that much. Star T. I do not want it to be able to wrap. Minimum 18. That was the problem. All right. Cool. Now it says start on there. All right, so let's go to start node. It's got an output connector. Connector position is going to be 0. And it is not plugged in. I also think I've got like a line prefab offline here. Where I kind of want to change the line width because I increased it by some amount. And I don't remember how I did that. No, I'll play with that later. All right. So that's basically everything I need for a start node. So I'll just go into this routine graph manager. And it's got this node prefab here. But what I really want is to have be able to hold all the different types. So it's got a prefab for the start node. And let's actually make that into a prefab. It's already a prefab. But I need to disconnect it from that prefab and make a fresh one. Ooh. So prefab, unpack completely, and then start node, and then put our routine graph manager script that needs that node start prefab. Should have called that start node prefab. Anyway, it's got the prefab now. And so if the index is 0, then we'll do the start node prefab, otherwise just the regular node prefab. So now it'll make one start node and 2 other nodes. And I've also got this start node sitting here. Let's possibly see that in action. All right, I got a start node here with a plug on it. And that plug could plug into here, or here, or here. That's really just plugged in right on the edge of that. That's just how they work. At the moment, anyway. Okay, cool. That's good. Much better than... Oh, hang on. Why did it create 3 of those? Oh, because I didn't actually use the thing. That's just the problem with coding at the end of the day. If I were to wake up early, and do my development then, before anything else, I don't think I'd make half as many of these silly mistakes. I'm getting pretty tired. It's just about time to finish up to less than 10 minutes. Very quiet stream this time, except for me. I've been talking constantly and I'm getting a sore throat. I should have a sip of water. Replace the tea with some not tea. So what is this? This is Thursday. I'm considering changing one of my stream days to be just a preparing stuff day. And I haven't got around to looking at which days are the quiet ones. Because being aware of what day of the week it is like, that's arbitrary anyway, the days of the week. There's nothing about 7 days that's particularly special. There we go. So now that one has become a start node. We can't plug that into itself. No, you're incompatible. There we go. That seems too long too. So anyway, that's working. Maybe I can quickly get another type of node working as well. So we've got our start node here. Output connector position. Move it closer because it looks weird. Yeah, I think we can just put it like right up close because it's neat to have like a squiggly line since it's directly centered. And I'll just apply the overrides. I think I need to do that over here. Apply all. Okay, and I think I'll move this start node. I'll just what? Apparently I'll move its pivot. Let's just move the whole thing up here. And that's another node. So I've got the prefab. I haven't got any code for it yet, but that's okay. It's this is more going to be, the node will describe the underlying data structure visually, but any changes you make on here when something gets plugged into somewhere or unplugged, that will update the underlying data structure. And then when the routine is running, it will have somehow refer to the position in the underlying data structure, and that will be used to update the graph being rendered. Something like that. Anyway, an action node. I already created one node, why not another? So let's just grab a fresh graph node here. That's not the right place to drop that. I'll just undo that. I'm just going to grab that graph node and put it right there because that will actually give me something I can work from. Now this one, is going to have an input and an output. So it's got its input target here, and that is actually going to be the connector female. There we go. And I think we'll set the native size and then scale that one. Where did I scale that one? There to 1.5, okay. So I'll scale this one to 1.5 as well. Whoa, okay, what's going on with that? So we've got the image here. Why is its transform showing up smaller than the image is drawing? That's a bit weird. Basketball, I don't know. Is that just the scaling? It is. Yeah, so that, I think that means, is that line drawing to there or to there? So what's 15.65 times 1.5? $23.43, hey? Was that just exactly the same number? Yeah. we go. Probably want to move that one a bit, but first of all, this one. Oh, hey, a Mega Killer, you made it. Just in time to catch a little bit of stuff. Having a great week. Yes, very busy week. Got a party on the weekend here, and usually the longer it is between people visiting my house, the more embarrassing it is to have people see the house, because there's a lot of things that I think I'll get to eventually. I'll do that later, I think. I'll clean that up later, and so on. And well, later is now because people are going to be here. So, oh, not a good week, hey? Okay. Well, what's happened? You sold a PCB with an LCD display on it. Display didn't respond. And say so many data sheets about the display. Just bad soldering, hey? Hopefully just bad as in not well connected, not bad as in cooked the display. Let me get that calculator out of there. And so what I've been doing is I made some sprites in here. It's different, few different sprites there and here to use on the new routine editor. I was just going to name this thing action node. I'm making prefabs for the different node types. Yeah, it's probably not going to give you a very good current if the pins are not touching power pins. So on the plus side, the display wasn't responding because it wasn't connected. That's much better than like the display was broken. Well, I hope it's much better than that. Although I guess it's less. If it was because the display was broken, then you could feel better about the soldering job. But I would imagine that's some pretty fine soldering there. Do you need or need might be a strong word. Do you use a lens of some sort to get a closer look? This could be node action. And let's just start with setting native size. And then I'll just scale that up a bit, I think. Wow, that's interesting. Oh yeah, because the positions of those is are like based on this center. I will want all this to be smaller. I'm going to fix up all the scaling later. Let's say there. Just because I've got this grid behind here. Oh, I'm going to put that, line that up there with that grid, then make that be two units wide. Looks like we're 100 pixels per unit. Oops, 100 pixels, not 1,000. And apparently we can go a little bit. 65.43. What is the actual size of this sprite? You're not going to tell me. Hey, let's have a look in here. How big is this? 34 by 22. Okay. So 34 by 22. $40 FBC connector. 40 already sounds like a lot of tiny solders to do. Now, what I want to see here is some scale, because that's not the best resolution. Wait, if I click on it. Yeah. That looks smallish. 0.5, 2.54. All right. So those are a millimeter wide each. Oh, right. That's the one. So how wide are those? How far apart? I guess it's these connections along here, isn't it? I need to something for scale. Why don't they put it next to a banana? What does the 0.5 millimeter refer to? Anyway, yes. Looks like the kind of thing you want a magnifying glass, or no, those glasses with the lenses you put down. And you build a machine and it shrinks your children. And you accidentally put them in a, sweep them up and put them in a bin. Something like that. All right, so I got this, I got that, I got that. This thing, 100. So 34 by 22. Divided by 34 times 100. 64.7058. So if I set this to 64.706, that's fine. That's not 6, that's... That should work. Cool. Right. Connector, position, X. We only need one, so it can go pretty snug there. And the input target. Oh. Just center that vertically and just slap it on there. Okay, it's just there seems fine. And I'm going to give this a text as well. So I'm just going to copy that from there and just paste as child there. And this won't say start, this will say what the action is. That way I can just get all the actions without having to do anything. And that's annoying when the tax is more than the price of... If tax or shipping is more than the price of the item, then yeah, that's annoying. I thought I had a microscope at some point, but I'm not sure where it's gone. Because I'm pretty sure I got one secondhand when I was studying, because I did a bunch of microbiology stuff. Yeah, whatever happened to that? I thought I did. What? It's starting to heat up here. Starting to get all of the insects having their activity. We get random ants and things showing up, even inside, from time to time. All right. So where are we up to here? Okay, so I've got some text on there. I will make this say something like, what's an action? Walk. I'll just say walk on there for now. That'll do for an example. And all right, so I need to disconnect this prefab. Unpack completely. And let's pop it in the routine graph. Action node. Go. And yeah, we'll just do like the same thing as that. I'm going to change that other one to be start node prefab. There we go. Yes, now I can have a prefab for each of those things. Let's let that compile. I might as well actually just get all the different types of node prefabs set up here for when I need them. Actually, I won't call that simple decision. I'll just call it decision. No, not decision. Label node, similar to a start node, but it'll have an input as well. Go to node and threshold decision, threshold, yeah, that'll be fine like that. All right. So now I can go back here and this thing here. I did save that. Why aren't you building? Is there something stopping it from building? You just go really slow. That's true because I just changed it. Oh, right, of course. I didn't rename that properly. There we go. do action node prefab there. That should fix that, so it can build. That's the problem with having these errors coming from the library. Even if the library works fine, I'm just less likely to notice my own errors that I've created myself. You know, handcrafted personal errors. Whoa. And these are the errors from the library. Yeah, so good. Just grab my start node in there, and my action node in here. Don't have any decision nodes, but that's okay because it's not using them. And I'll just move my example action node up here. And I'll just get this other node over there somewhere. All right, let's go. We should end up with one of these and we'll be able to plug them into each other and make something that looks a bit like a very simple routine. Not backed by anything, of course. Oh yes, so there's something I need to fix on that prefab here. So in the action node prefab, the output connector needs its connect position set to 0. And I'm not sure whether that will survive properly. Anyway, basically plug that out. I think there's a minimum size for that connector, isn't there? It's sort of drawn too far across there, or yeah, it's kind of bunched up too much. Could even position it somewhere like that by default, and then that just looks a bit better. Anyway, so we plug that in here, do we? Yes, I need to change the positioning, which I think is also in that. If I go in here and look at the input target, input drop target, I think I have an offset on the input drop target. Which I don't appear to have open. There. That's the plug offset that I've got set. So I'll need to change that. Anyway, these things can plug into stuff, so that's good. And that doesn't go anywhere. So basically for this thing, I was looking at having it just live somewhere like just there. Maybe line it up with the bottom of that and then put it about that far away. But make sure it connects from the middle, because I think that'll look good. Now, I'll undo this. But essentially, it might be 0. If I put the pivot there, wait, what does that do? Yeah, it changes the position and the pivot. If I put the pivot there, then I should need no offset. So just get rid of that offset, I think. Okay, so that saves that one, solves that one. I've got a bit over time, so I probably should do the simple decision node. We should do it next time, but I'm going to do it this time. I'll just quickly get simple decision node done first before I finish up. Okay, so but I'll just also fix that. I was thinking about there. Might be good. And I probably need some standard there, 0.75 for the pivot. Yeah. 0.75 on that one. And apply that. Okay. Nice. I've got the prefab. We'll sort all that out later, but let's make a decision node. So I'll start with an action node here. Put that in there. Just rename that to decision node. There we are. Let's change that text to enemy sensor. And yes, we've got one input, but we'll have two output connectors. So I'll just duplicate that. And instead of calling it output connector, this will be positive connector and negative connector. This is not working like real electricity or anything. It's the positive signal and negative signal. And let's put that positive one up. That's not the up. This is the up. Let's get that to be a rounded number because why not? Okay, we got the input target, we got the text. Now, this thing needs no decision. There we go. And I think that needs to be taller. If I put that right on that corner here, like so. Do something like that. That's probably pretty good. 100 by 100. What am I doing manually positioning things like that? Okay, so now we've got these two connectors. can really put this one up all the way to like here. Like that. And that'll go all the way down to there. And we want the connector to be a little bit below 0. Let's try 0.25. Above and below. Alright, so now we've got that. Need to unpack the prefab. And then we can make that into its own prefab. Then I will move it over here to the examples and grab this thing. Grab that decision node and pop it into there. And I'll just go into here. So I'll start that as the node prefab, and then just to switch I. Okay, 0. Of course. This is just my example code to spit out a few different nodes. Actually, let's do decision node prefab there. And then everything else is going to be an action. So then if I add a few more positions, I can do some more actions. I can use those example ones as well. All right. So now we've got a start node, got a decision node, and I'll just grab that action node from there so we can go, oh, is there an enemy? If not, then we'll walk, and otherwise we'll walk. And then they could both connect to here. I haven't actually done anything to make them both connect to something, but there. You can do that. It's valid. And I could probably do something to hook them up. It's probably just like not possible to unplug the top one without unplugging the bottom one first and then plug the top one in. Just because that's the main problem. I think if there are multiple things plugged in, then it should be plugged in separate positions to allow unplugging them, or have something where I can click somewhere here to unplug. Anyway, that's that. Just plug those into that one for no reason. There we go. But anything that's not plugged in would just naturally loop back to the start. So yeah, getting somewhere with that. A few more node types to make. Label, go to, and threshold. So threshold would be like decision one, but you get to set a number on it. Basically, I might leave that one until later on because it's a bit more complex to implement. So yeah, but hey, this is starting to get a lot closer to this. I've got start, I've got an action. It says walk instead of having an arrow, but that's much of a muchness. I've got a thing that says enemy and goes to something that says walk. So I just need to make some of these say other things, and then you'll need to actually hook something up to all of that. All right, I've been talking too long. I'm going to go to bed because my throat is sore, and that's not good timing because I've got a big weekend coming up after a big day of work. Yeah, thank you. I agree. Definitely shaping up nicely. All right, I'm going to stop that. And farewell. Hope the soldering picks up. Did you get it working, by the way, or is it at the point now where you need to do some stuff, like do some more soldering or unsolder some stuff? You're right. I should just get going. Too easy to get carried away. Not yet. Well, good luck with that as well then. Okay. Bye-bye for now. And I'll see you next time. These are the first solder, a new one. Oh, maybe the other one's destroyed. Not destroyed, like not so usable? I don't know. I'll ask next.